Behind the wheel, a man's dash cam captured chilling moments no one was meant to witness. Eerie clowns, ghostly women, and mysterious creatures emerged from the shadows, turning an ordinary drive into a heart-pounding nightmare.
What the fuck?
Brace yourself for these creepy sightings.
Oh my god!
A group of friends was cruising down a lonely road when their headlights caught something up ahead. It was a clown. It stood in the middle of the street, gripping a metal rod tightly. Before they could react, it lunged at them.
Hit it! Hit that! Hit that!
The driver slammed the accelerator, swerving just in time, but the clown swung hard, striking their car with a loud bang. They didn't stop. They didn't look back. The fear stayed with them long after, knowing that whatever was under that mask wasn't just a prankster. It was something or someone with dangerous intent. Masked pursuer. A man was heading home late at night when his headlights illuminated a figure stepping into the road. A clown mask covered its face. It stood still for a moment, then lifted a hand and waved. Without warning, it broke into a sprint, charging straight at the car. Panic took over. The driver threw the car into reverse, tires screeching. But the figure didn't slow down. It was getting closer. Without thinking, he spun the wheel, floored the gas, and sped off into the night. The masked pursuer vanished in his rear view, but the fear remained. What would have happened if he hadn't escaped? Creepy woman. During a routine patrol in a remote area, a Saudi policeman spotted a lone woman in white standing in the shadows. Something felt off. As he stepped closer, she let out strange, unsettling noises. Her body twitched unnaturally, as if something unseen controlled her movements. The air around her felt wrong. The officer, trained to handle danger, felt something deeper, primal fear. He knew better than to ignore his instincts. Without hesitation, he backed away, choosing to leave rather than face whatever stood before him.
Look there!
That night, he didn't just encounter a stranger. He stepped too close to something unexplainable. Road Phantom. Late at night, a man was driving down an empty road when his dashcam captured something chilling. A white figure gliding across the street. The footage, later posted online, sparked heated debates. Some claimed the area was notorious for strange occurrences, while others suspected a ritual in progress. But what unsettled everyone was how the figure moved, unnatural, almost floating. The driver never slowed down. He had no interest in uncovering the truth. Whatever was out there, it was best left alone. Nightmare Patrol. During a routine patrol, officers encountered something straight out of a horror film. Two masked figures dressed as clowns. The dashcam recorded as they moved closer. The officer immediately shouted for them to stop, uncertain of their intentions.
You guys come up to this barrier right here.
The video spread online, dividing opinions. Some brushed it off as a prank, but others weren't so sure. Whether it was a joke or something more sinister. The night ended with law enforcement stepping in before the clowns got any closer. Unknown figure. Julian Cortez laughed when his little brother claimed a clown was lurking around their apartment complex.
I really don't believe him.
Yeah, I saw him somewhere around here, but I'm not sure.
But when curiosity took over, he decided to see for himself. As they approached the parking lot exit, the headlights revealed a figure standing under the streetlight. A clown. It didn't just stand there. It began walking toward them, slowly, deliberately.
What?
He's right there! Go! Run!
Julian's little brother panicked, begging him to leave. He didn't argue. They sped off, but even after reaching home, an uneasy feeling lingered. Maybe the clown was still out there. Maybe it never left. Fearless passengers. Most people would panic if a clown suddenly appeared in the middle of a deserted road. Not this group, as their headlights lit up a figure in clown attire standing directly in their path. They didn't scream or react, they just stared. The clown hesitated, clearly expecting fear, but got nothing. That was enough to rattle even him. Instead of continuing his act, he turned and bolted, disappearing into the night. For once, the hunter became the hunted. Whispering stranger. A man had just parked his car when he noticed someone staring at him from a short distance away. Before he could process what was happening, the figure approached his window. Without warning, the stranger muttered something in an eerie, almost rhythmic tone. The words were unintelligible, but the way they were spoken sent a chill down his spine. Then, as if nothing had happened, the man turned and walked away, leaving the driver frozen in place. Something about the encounter felt wrong. Clown digger. Driving alone at night is unsettling, but what this tourist saw on a Texas road was downright disturbing. In the middle of the empty highway, a man in a clown mask was digging.
What the f***?
His movements slow and deliberate. As soon as he noticed the headlights, he didn't panic. Instead, he made strange, exaggerated jumps before vanishing into the woods. The driver had no intention of stopping to figure out what was going on. Whatever was buried or about to be buried, he wasn't going to stick around to find out. Hidden ritual. Monte Rio, California has its share of eerie tales, but one camper didn't believe them until he became part of one. Woken by strange noises, he quietly climbed a tree for a better view. That's when he saw it, a ritual unfolding in the dead of night. Hooded figures carried burning torches, their slow march casting eerie shadows against the trees. From his hidden perch, the camper barely breathed, knowing he had stumbled upon something forbidden.
And we are united.
He didn't climb down until morning. By then, the figures were long gone, but the fear remained. Dark gathering. A traveler passing through an abandoned town spotted something unusual, lights flickering in the distance. Drawn by curiosity, he moved closer, but what he saw stopped him cold. A circle of figures in dark robes surrounded a man dressed in white. His voice echoed unnaturally, as if calling out to something unseen.
Tried and holy are the pillars of this house.
The traveler watched, every instinct telling him to turn back. He didn't wait to see what would happen next. Whatever was being summoned, he wasn't about to stick around and meet it. Sprinting clown. An explorer driving toward an abandoned town in Peru noticed something unusual. A lone clown walking along the roadside. At first, it seemed harmless, maybe just someone in costume. But as the car got closer, the clown abruptly turned and walked into the open fields. Strange, but nothing too alarming. That is, until moments later, when the same clown came charging out of the darkness, sprinting straight toward the vehicle. Instinct took over. The explorer slammed the gas pedal, leaving the bizarre figure in the dust. What was that all about? He wasn't sticking around to find out. Hooded procession. Bro is never going in that alley again. A man taking a shortcut through a dark alley instantly regretted his choice. At the far end, a group of people in red robes moved in perfect sync, each carrying a glowing candle. Their faces were hidden, their footsteps eerily synchronized. He froze, unsure whether to keep going or turn back. Before he could decide, one of them slowly turned its head toward him. No words, no sudden movements, just a silent warning. That was enough. He backed away, turned, and ran without looking back. Who they were, what they were doing, didn't matter. Path blocker. A group of friends was heading to the woods for a camping trip when their journey took a chilling turn. Out of nowhere, a clown emerged from the trees, standing in the middle of the road with a stick in hand. Before they could react, he started striking their car, his movements growing more aggressive. Hoping to defuse the situation, the driver moved forward slowly, but the clown wasn't done. As they passed, he ran after them, stick in hand.
Dude, he's coming back. Dude, go!
That was enough. The driver floored it, putting as much distance as possible between them and whatever that was. No one spoke for a while. The fun camping trip? Not so fun anymore. The setup. Two friends were on their way to visit a classmate when their curiosity got the best of them. The deserted road felt eerie, but one of them kept scanning the open fields. Then, he saw something strange. Ignoring his friend's warning, he stepped out to get a closer look.
Do you see a clown?
Yeah.
No way.
Bad idea. From inside the car, his friend spotted movement.
Oh my god! Get in here! What the Go!
Someone in a mask was charging straight toward them from behind. Heart pounding, he screamed for his friend to get back. Without hesitation, he sprinted to the car, jumped in, and they sped off. This wasn't just a creepy encounter, it was a setup, most likely for a robbery. Masked figure. A notorious haunted road in India has been the site of disturbing encounters for years. But one man decided to see for himself. Armed with a dash cam, he set out on a late-night drive, hoping to catch something unusual on film. The road stretched on, empty and silent, until his headlights caught something ahead. A figure dressed in red walked in the middle of the road, its face concealed by an eerie mask. No normal person would be there at that hour. The driver kept recording, but had no intention of stopping. Whether it was a trap or something far worse, he wasn't about to find out. Silent ritual. Whatever was caught happening, they wanted no part of it. A group of friends was heading home late at night when they decided to take a shortcut through the woods. It seemed like a good idea until they spotted a group of figures standing near the road. Dressed in long brown robes with white masks, they stood motionless, as if waiting for something. The figures had gathered around a fire, chanting in a language they couldn't understand. The eerie scene was enough to snap them out of their curiosity. Without a word, they bolted back to the car and drove off. Bridge horror. He ain't never driving down this path again. A truck driver crossing a bridge late at night saw something his mind refused to believe. His headlights cut through the darkness, illuminating a figure leaning out from the bridge's side. But something was terribly wrong. It was only the upper torso of a man. No legs, no lower body, just a torso, suspended in midair. The driver slammed the brakes, trying to make sense of what he had just seen. When he checked his mirrors, nothing. The road was empty. Whether it was a hallucination, a trick of the light, or something unexplainable, one thing was certain: he would never drive that route again. Cemetery ritual. No one knows what happened to the people in this clip. A man walking past a cemetery late at night stumbled upon something straight out of a nightmare. Hooded figures stood in a circle, chanting in a language he didn't recognize. Strange symbols were drawn on the ground. Hidden behind a tree, he recorded the eerie scene, until one of the figures suddenly turned. That was his cue to run. He never looked back. No one knows what happened to the people in that ritual, or if the man who filmed it ever truly escaped whatever he had disturbed. Free hugs clown. No such thing as free hugs without a price to pay. Late at night, a driver found himself in a surreal situation when his headlights landed on a masked clown standing in the middle of the road. The figure held a sign that read "Free Hugs," but there was nothing friendly about it. The driver slowed down for just a moment, long enough to realize the clown was walking toward his car, one step at a time. Something was wrong. Instead of waiting to find out what this was about, he threw the car in reverse and sped off. No matter what that clown wanted, he wasn't about to stick around and find out. Wrong turn. A group of friends was taking a shortcut through the woods, the music blasting as they joked around. It felt like any other late-night drive until something appeared in the middle of the road. Curious, one of them stepped out to get a closer look. The moment he realized what he was looking at, his stomach dropped. A clown. Motionless. Staring. He didn't wait to see what would happen next. Rushing back to the car, he barely had time to shut the door before the clown suddenly sprinted toward them. Tires screeched as they sped off, leaving whatever that thing was in the dust. Nightmare roadblock. A family was driving peacefully when another car suddenly swerved in front of them, blocking the road. Before they could react, a figure stepped out, wearing a rabbit mask and holding a chainsaw. Then another appeared, a clown in an orange jumpsuit, pressing a creepy puppet against their window. The child in the back seat let out a frightened gasp as the eerie figures closed in. Without wasting a second, the driver threw the car in reverse and sped off, leaving the masked intruders standing there. Hitchhiking clown. What started as an ordinary drive turned into a nightmare. Jake was cruising down the road when he spotted a lone hitchhiker up ahead. But as he got closer, his stomach dropped. It was a clown. The figure stood motionless, staring. Then, without warning, it lunged at his car, slamming both hands onto the hood. Jake didn't stick around to see what came next. He floored it, speeding off, but the clown gave chase, sprinting after him before finally stopping. When he checked his dashcam later, he saw just how aggressive the attack had been. If he had stopped, things might have ended very differently. Tall woman. A man was driving down a dark back road at 1:50 a.m. when something strange caught his eye. At first, it looked like a shadow, but as he got closer, he saw her, a woman, impossibly tall, standing still in a flowing white dress. Her face was pale, barely visible in the dim light. Then she turned and locked eyes with his car. No normal person would be standing there alone like that. A chill ran through him. That road had always been silent, empty, but that night, something was waiting. Unseen passenger. No one would ever want to be in that driver's seat. A man was waiting at a red light when his dashcam captured something he never saw in real time. A car passed in front of him, nothing unusual, until he reviewed the footage later. There, in the back seat of the passing car, sat a clown, motionless, staring, shocked. He shared the clip online, and theories exploded. Had the clown snuck in without the driver knowing? Or was something even stranger at play? Hypnosis, possession? Let me know in the comments. Silent gathering. What exactly did he capture? A hiker exploring a quiet hillside stumbled upon something unsettling. A group of people, all dressed in white, stood in a circle. In the center, two figures, one in blue, the other in pink. They seemed young, and something about their stance felt off, as if they weren't there by choice. The air was thick with silence, no chanting, no movement, just an eerie stillness. The hiker didn't stick around to find out more. He slowly backed away, leaving the strange gathering behind. What exactly he had witnessed remained a mystery. Drone discovery. A group of Indonesian YouTubers decided to test their new drone in a remote mountain area, a place where few dared to go. As they scanned the landscape, the drone's camera picked up something chilling, a massive pentagram drawn into the ground, with a lone figure standing at its center. Three others, all dressed in white, surrounded the symbol, unmoving. It looked like something straight out of a horror film. The YouTubers immediately saved the footage, unsure of what they had just captured. Was it a dark ritual? A secret cult? Whatever it was, they didn't stick around to find out. Clown hunters. A small town in Dallas, Texas, had become a hot spot for disturbing clown sightings, terrifying late-night drivers. Two friends, tired of the fear, decided to confront the madness. Their drive started out normal, until a clown stepped into the road, holding balloons, walking straight toward them. But this time, the clown had picked the wrong targets. One of the friends grabbed a baseball bat, stepped out, and swung at the clown's legs. The figure dropped the balloons and ran, disappearing into the night. After that, the sightings mysteriously stopped. Highway ambush. What started as a routine drive turned into a nightmare for one truck driver. Someone had placed thick tree branches across the highway, forcing vehicles to slow down. As the truck approached, figures suddenly emerged from the darkness, jumping over the guardrail and attacking. Rocks, sticks, even chunks of concrete smashed against the windshield. With no other choice, the driver pushed through, shattering the barricade, but not without injury. The glass tore into him, but he kept going. Accidents are one thing. This was something far more terrifying. Chainsaw roadblock. A group of friends in Iraq found themselves completely lost in the middle of nowhere, but getting lost was the least of their problems. Out of the darkness, a clown stepped into the road, gripping a massive chainsaw. At first, it stood still, watching. Then, it started moving toward them. Panic set in. This wasn't some harmless prank. Wasting no time, they threw the car into reverse, tires screeching as they fled. Whatever was lurking on that road, they had no intention of finding out. Undercover ritual. A man obsessed with satanic rituals decided to infiltrate one himself. Disguised in the same hooded robes, he hid a tiny camera on his body, transmitting everything to his friends. The eerie glow of torches flickered as hooded figures chanted, their voices blending into an unsettling hum. He moved cautiously, blending in, careful not to attract attention. Then the screen glitched. Static. Silence. His friends panicked, trying to contact him. Hours passed. Days. Weeks. No one ever saw him again. The authorities found no traces of him or the cult. Did they discover his secret? Did he become part of their ritual? No one knows. But that night, he vanished into the dark and never came back. The CERN ritual. Some believe CERN's experiments go beyond science and into something much darker. A disturbing video surfaced from CERN showing hooded figures in black robes gathering near the famous Shiva statue in the dead of night. In the eerie glow of a nearby light, a woman dressed in white stood in the center. Then, something shocking happened. One of the figures lunged, appearing to stab her. The person filming gasped, and the video cut off. Shit. CERN later dismissed it as a prank, supposedly staged by staff, but many weren't convinced. The organization launched an investigation, but no real answers were ever given. What really happens behind those secured walls? Comment below. Fuck. Masked threat. Don't ever stop for a stranger. A late-night drive turned into a nightmare when a masked figure stepped into the road, signaling for a man to stop. Something felt wrong. Instead of hitting the brakes, he slowed just enough to assess the situation. Within seconds, his instincts were confirmed. The masked man suddenly charged toward the car. No hesitation. The driver slammed the accelerator, swerving past and leaving the stranger behind. That night, he learned one thing. On an empty road, stopping for a stranger is never an option. Silent figure. Some roads are better left unexplored. A group of friends found themselves completely lost on a deserted stretch of road, with no clue which way to go. As they tried to figure out a route, a tall figure appeared ahead.
What? Oh my God.
It stood unnervingly still, its face obscured by the darkness. Then, without warning, it began to move. Slow, deliberate steps toward their car. The tension was suffocating. Without waiting to see what would happen next,
Oh my God. Come on, go, 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 go.
they threw the car into reverse and sped off. Abandoned town. Exploring abandoned places at night might sound thrilling, but sometimes it's a mistake you only make once. A road trip took a terrifying turn when a group of friends made the mistake of stopping in an abandoned town. As one of them pulled into a parking spot, a blur of movement came from the shadows. A clown, sprinting full speed, launched itself onto the car's hood. Panic erupted. The driver floored it, twisting the wheel to shake the figure off. The clown tumbled to the ground, but they didn't dare look back. They left the town in a frenzy, vowing never to return. Spying gone wrong. A man exploring the woods in Mexico stumbled upon an old, decaying house. Strange noises echoed from inside, but instead of walking away, curiosity pulled him in. He stepped through the creaking doorway, carefully climbing the stairs. Then, in a dimly lit room, he saw them. Figures in eerie masks, locked in a ritual. The moment his foot shifted, they turned, as if sensing him.
Meu Deus do céu, são três.
His heart pounded. Without a second thought, he bolted, tearing through the trees until he reached safety. He never went back. Some doors, once opened, are better left closed.
Meu Deus do céu, são três.
Facility's dark past. While hunting pythons in the Florida Everglades, Mike Kimmel, better known as the Python Cowboy, stumbled upon something far more chilling than any snake. Inside an abandoned rocket testing facility, eerie remnants of rituals covered the walls. Baby dolls with missing eyes, inverted crosses, and Latin messages smeared in red paint. The facility was once linked to Jack Parsons, a scientist infamous for his occult interests. Many believe secret rituals still happen there. Kimmel didn't wait to find out. He left quickly, but one thing was clear. Some things lurking in the Everglades aren't reptiles. Clown and Viper.
Stop!
A late-night drive home turned into a nightmare when a group of friends saw something bizarre ahead. A clown standing in the road, holding a live viper. Panic filled the car.
What are you doing? Stop! Oh my.
But instead of driving away, the driver did something unexpected. He grabbed a stick, stepped out, and struck the clown hard enough to push him aside. With no time to process what had just happened, he jumped back in the car, started the engine, and they sped off. Whatever that clown had planned, they weren't sticking around to find out.
Run over him! Oh my, you ran over. Wait, we have to look back.
Vanishing clown. This strange encounter turned into something far more unsettling. A group of boys noticed a clown standing by the roadside, holding a bunch of balloons. At first, he just stood there, but then he started walking toward their car. They didn't stop. They didn't even look back. Just another weird sighting, or so they thought. But later, when they checked for any reports, there was nothing. No other witnesses, no news, no follow-ups. The clown had vanished without a trace. Let us move on to our subscriber pick of the day. Some sights on the road are better left unseen because this tourist in Peru was driving late at night when he noticed something strange. A man in a suit standing in the middle of the road, holding a briefcase. Before he could process it, another man stepped out from the fields. Then another. Within seconds, more figures appeared, all dressed identically, each carrying a briefcase. Distant red lights flickered in the darkness. The eerie synchronization, the unnatural stillness. It felt wrong. His gut told him to leave, and he didn't hesitate. Slamming the gas, he sped away, refusing to find out what those men were doing.